Hello there. Long time no see. Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Average Man Reviews, the show where I make poor financial decisions so that you don't have to. How's my hair? Perfect? Lashes, lips, cheeks, great? Alright, let's keep rolling. So, I read all the comments. I have seen the call to come back and make more videos. And I'm honored, truly. Let me tell you a little something. I've been writing an autobiography, but I keep trying to kill off the main character. We got a little medical intervention going on in the form of 300 milligrams of Wellbutrin, and we're back on track, babies. And we have this lovely little gem to talk about today. I feel like my hair is still jacked up. It felt jacked up. You lied to me, Rodney. Anyway, now, if you couldn't tell, I really don't like Star Wars. Not really a big fan of it, so I kind of debated about doing this video, but I decided I'd go ahead and do it for you. First thing we're going to talk about is availability. It ain't great. It's not a Target exclusive, but Target is the only store that I know that has had it on its shelf. And even at that, the Target that is my local Target has never had them in the store. Not to say that they're out of stock. They've never arrived in the store to be sold out, to be out of stock. Your mileage may vary, but availability locally can be kind of nyeh. That's a very technical term if you're not familiar. We have fun here. And I like this. I do. In terms of a Star Wars cosplay replica, it's great. It's dirt cheap in that regard, comparative to anything else. There is an aircraft flying overhead. We will take a break. And we're back. So, even at $25, for a very good Scout Trooper pistol blaster replica thingy, that's still a solid price. If you were trying to get one for a cosplay, let me just gesture at myself with this. If you didn't want to spend however much to get one from somebody that 3D prints them or makes resin kits or whatever off of Etsy, you'd probably be paying at least 50 bucks, right? Like, at least. So 15 to 25 is a solid price for a replica that, you know, has the ability to shoot Nerf darts. If you're doing it for costuming, you probably don't really care about that. It's just a cool gimmick. Give you a little overview of it right quick. The blaster itself is pretty nice, a little compact little thing. You have a side-mounted scope. Now, the scope is supposed to have a little crosshair thing in the middle of the scope. My daughter decided to shove 3 ballpoint pens inside of here, so I had to use a screwdriver and break the crosshair thing to get them out. So mine does not have a crosshair, but I don't think that will influence the functionality of it, because it doesn't do anything. Let me get back into frame. I love the look of it, and it's a blaster that really isn't on screen very much. It's only used by the Scout Troopers, so you don't get too good of a look at it. I actually made one in the past. This was my attempt. It's sufficient. It works for, you know, my costume uses, but it's really not even in the same area of similarities, you know. So in terms of being a replica, you can't beat it, legitimately. I mean, maybe you can. There's probably some weirdo that's selling a 3D printed one for like $12 and it comes in like 35 pieces. You gotta put it together like a jigsaw puzzle and it looks like trash. But there's probably somebody selling one. Wouldn't surprise me. Here's the thing. When you look at this, you know in your heart of hearts if you're gonna get this. Right? Like, there's two camps. Either you dig Star Wars, you think it's cool, and you say $15. Yeah, I'll get that. Cool little dart blaster thing. I can shoot stuff around the house. I can put it on a shelf. Maybe I paint it up for a costume. That's a steal of a deal. It's great. I collect Star Wars stuff. I'll buy it in a heartbeat. Maybe you don't like Star Wars whatsoever. If you're looking at it completely objectively as just a toy that shoots a dart, yeah, there's a ton of better options, and I would not recommend you to get it. Same way I would not recommend using it in a nerf fight. How do you put this in a holster? How do you fit that into a holster? It's decently wide. You might be able to stuff it into a cargo pocket, but I mean, the practicality side is absolute zero. But the cool factor, pretty high. So, with that in mind, we're going to take it outside and shoot it. Really takes the edge off, you know? Stupid. So, I have 4 shots and another 4 shots in my pocket. We're going to be aiming over there. I got 2 targets set up. Are they on camera? Let me check. That's beside the point. There's another aircraft flying over. Why? Why? Looks like they finally found me. This is the wrong end. I have 2 targets set up at 25 feet away from me. If you're wondering, the targets are an empty bottle of pre-workout that tasted terrible, so I'm really going to be aiming to hit it, because God, it was bad. And a can of vitamin D, because I already got the D. I shouldn't make that joke. I'm trying to get monetized. So, let's get to the shooting. Okay. Oh, come on. You kidding me? It's like it hops up just before or just after the target. So I'll close in a few feet after this and we should be good. Oh, that one hit. That one hit.
Oh, that one hit. That one hit.
Just shy. Get out of my pocket. I can hit the metal desk thing all day. I just can't get any precision. I say that and then I miss the frickin' desk. Okay. 25 feet away. Actually reaches. You know what? Let's do a quick test. See how far this thing will shoot. I'm gonna get behind the camera because from the spot behind the camera to the fence back there is 50 feet. Maximum distance, angling it up, is about 35 to 40 feet. So 35 to 40 feet is about what's expected with Nerf stuff if you're angling it up. Realistically, it's about 25 feet is a usable distance. We're gonna close in to about A little less than 20, a little more than 15. Let's call it 18. Desk all day. Hey, 24 desk. Are you kidding me? Desk. Nothing but desk. Desk. Here is something weird that I learned about this. How it should work, I'll take the dart out. It should be, you pull back and it does that. However, if your finger slips, it'll fire. My hand isn't on the trigger. So if I put a dart in here, hand is not touching the trigger, I'm just holding the bottom of it. That just went over the fence into my neighbor's yard. Bringing down property values. Realistically, man, it's outclassed by your most basic Jolt or Night Finder just in terms of concealability, portability, and practicality. I don't think I can think of any other word that ends with a Lee, so we're gonna shoot some stuff again. Ha-ha! Maybe that's the trick. I gotta drop to a knee and pop up and do it. The old long shot, drop shot, pop shot. Nope. Not even close. Nothing but desk. Hey! Not even bothering to try to hit the vitamin D. If I'm having this much trouble hitting the pre-workout can that's massive, I'm not going to bother with that one. And I say that, but that was actually close to the vitamin D. Ka-chow. Sometimes I roll a nat 20. I was gonna lose my mind if that hit something. Alright. What do you think? You guys need to see any more to figure out if this thing's worth buying? Alright, let's go inside and talk about it a little further. I'm gonna take this off because it's a little warm. And then we'll discuss this a little more. And we're back. So, I don't really feel a need to reiterate the stuff that I've already said about this blaster because I've already said pretty much all there is to say. I don't think the accuracy and distance test really affected my verdict by much. I wasn't particularly expecting to find that it was a massively powerful 200 FPS sniper pistol or anything like that. I do apologize on that point. I do not have a chronograph, so I cannot tell you what FPS it's hitting at. However, I fear nothing. That would have been a lot better if I didn't miss. Yeah, this thing's weak as crap. Maybe like 50? To be totally honest with you, I think they were going to make a Halloween costume piece and said, if we stuff a Jolt inside of it, we could sell it all year round. And we got this, which isn't necessarily bad. It's a neat little gimmick, but it is a gimmick. So recognize that, be aware of it. If it's something you're interested in, pick it up if you find it local, pay through the nose if you find it online, avoid it if you don't care. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that, rather than end it, I am gonna say, I do appreciate the comments and the call to action to return. Sort of like Goku, I need all of your collective energies to build me up and pull me back out of the depressive slumps that the choir of demons in my mind drag me into. So, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna do my best to keep making content. If you're not familiar, I also have a Facebook page, Rocket Coffin Studios. All the costume stuff I put on there. This was gonna be a costume tutorial page originally, but I got super stressed out trying to film myself working and I gave up on it. And then one night I decided to make a review of an action figure because it was really cool. And it's just kind of spiraled out of control from there, which is the story of a lot of parts of my life. But anyway, the intent is going to be to have Average Man reviews, where I give you reviews of products and random crap that I buy. Making stuff and looking tough will hopefully be tutorials on how I do some of this kind of stuff. Because if you're not aware, these are foam floor mats covered in plastic dip, painted with acrylic paints from Walmart. And if I can ever get myself to do it, I'll show you how I did it. Oh yeah, adventures. Probably film like going to thrift stores and seeing what stuff I can find, because that's where I find a lot of my Nerf guns and stuff at. Nerf blasters, I apologize. Explorations. I go and explore abandoned buildings and crap and find weird things like that. So probably do a walkthrough of some places that I go. And I might do one where I just rant about stuff. Sometimes I just want to talk, and it helps me to talk, and I don't really got nobody to listen, so why not make some money off it? So, I think I've taken enough of your precious time as it is. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Until then, omelette du fromage. So, if you're not aware, I've got a military grade case of the autism, so I've discovered my special interest seems to be weapons. Took a long time to figure that out. So there's something I want to talk about right quick, because I was not aware of this, and I think it's super cool, and I got an info dump on somebody, and I've got you hostage, so listen up. When Star Wars was created, there was a thing that was happening in the firearms community. And if I had thought about this beforehand, I would have looked up the name. I think it's called like a OLM editor. Help me out. It stands for something else that I should have looked up. It's not an optical gun sight. It's an occluded optical gun sight reticle. I'm not even gonna try. Anyway, here's the point. Real long way to get there. It is essentially a rifle scope that has like a laser pointer or a fiber optic or something. Maybe it's LED, I don't know. It's got a dot in the middle of it. The end is actually closed. So when you look inside of it, you would see black and a red dot in the center. And the idea was that when you're looking, instead of closing your eyes and looking down the scope, you keep your eyes open and your right eye sees the dot. I guess I should angle it like this for the demonstration. Your right eye would see the dot. Your left eye does not see the dot. Similar to the way that your brain kind of edits out your nose, I guess it does the same thing but opposite. It actually would overlay it to your left eye, but since it's not actually there in your left eye, it somehow defaults to the middle of your vision. It's super weird and super cool. But that's why You never see anybody looking down the sights with their blasters. They're always holding them straight out. Because that was actually the idea. They were using a red dot sight. Really cool. You can actually still get people that make them. So at some point, I'm gonna get one because just as a historical thing, it's super cool. It's like a weird predecessor to red dot sights and stuff. And since I'm already ranting, we're gonna go ahead and double down on it. Did you know? In the first Terminator movie, when Arnold comes out and he's got that long Colt 45 long slide with the big, looks like a scope on top of it. It's not a scope, it's a laser sight. It's literally the size of a flashlight that's mounted on the gun. That's why it looks like a scope. It's not, it's a laser sight. And it's fairly obvious because he pans over stuff and, you know, searching for Sarah Connor and you see the laser beam. That didn't actually function that way. There was no like self-contained laser system. Like in reality, the way that it functioned is that there's actually a wire running from the laser sight into Arnold's hand, where it ran down his hand and into his sleeve, and there was a battery pack mounted in his sleeve to power it because they couldn't do it otherwise. And I just think that that's really neat. So, thank you for indulging me.